Well, good evening and thanks for joining us here on News 20 on GTN. We've got a great show for you tonight, very informational and educational. Joining me to my right, we have Pastor Robert Griffin from the Christian Embassy Church here in Blackjack. Glad you could join us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate you asking me.
And to your right, we have Tom Elgist from the Focus Marines Foundation. You're the Director of Transportation. Thanks for your time today, too. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
All right, we'll start off with you, Pastor Griffin. Every year you have a big event at your with your organization, and it raises money for a lot of great foundations within the St. Louis area. And this year is no different. The Focus Marines Foundation and Backstoppers. Talk to us about why you feel it's important to step up to the plate and make a difference in the community with organizations such as this.
Yeah, well, Randy, we started doing this about 10 years ago when we came over in this area. It started with the hurricane relief program in Hurricane Katrina. And we realized that that was one event and one organization that was really helping out. And so we wanted to partner with them. We didn't know what other way to do it. And so every year since then, we have adopted one organization or sometimes two. And we feel like that as we do that, we make it a community event where we have different games, we raise funds, we sell food, and it's a community event where people come together, we have a lot of fun, we have the property to be able to do that, and it also really give us an opportunity to give back into community.
And that event, just for everybody, if you want to put it on the calendar right now, is Saturday, September 20th. We'll tell you much more about it in just a few moments here on the show, but you'll look at one organization making a difference. A lot of people will say, well, one person can't make a difference, one organization can't. But when you look at the money that you raise, this really makes a difference for some of these organizations.
Well, you know, I'm not sure if the amount we raise make a difference, but I do realize that at least we're adding to the pot. And so if it's helping in any way, we're more than happy to do that. We have a great group of people who really works hard, and not just the day of, but leading up to the event. Even now, they're working, getting prepared for it.
I have to ask you what it makes you feel personally, how you feel after the event is over. And we'll talk about it leading up to it. I know you're a very passionate gentleman, and it's a pleasure working with you all these years.
Thank you.
But when you see the check being given to an organization, and you know that you're the man who's kind of spearheaded the event, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel real good because I do believe in giving. The Bible tells us that it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. And so when we get the opportunity to give back, it really makes me feel good. As a matter of fact, I have a harder time receiving than I do giving. So it's really a humbling experience to even have the opportunity to give. And plus, when we have so many giving people in our ministry.
That was going to be my next question for the individuals who donate at this event. What's some of the feedback you hear from them as far as them donating money and stepping up and helping out?
I think that they really believe in what we're doing, first of all, and they are very generous. They work hard. All the different things that we do to raise funds and the people who come and participate. I think that, first of all, we definitely want to make sure that they get their money's worth. If it's the food, we make sure they get more than enough. If it's the games and everything. But people are, really generous. And if it's a worthy cause, such as the Focus Marines Foundation, which I believe to be, and the previous years, the different organizations that we helped, people believe in what they're doing, so they don't mind giving.
And the Backstoppers is also an organization that will
definitely
be benefited this year.
we're going to. That's why we have this time. We're doing two organizations: the Backstoppers and Focus Marines Foundation. So it's going to be really exciting.
Tom, we'll talk to you much more in the second segment about exactly the mission of the Focus Marines Foundation. But right now, what's it mean when you hear of a community group coming together to support your organization? How important is that?
Well, it is the major thing that we have to contend with. And I listened to Pastor Griffin in his church talk to his congregation about the fact that he needs help in his battle in the community and everything else. And we're Marines and we're mission orientated, but We can't do this alone. This is some heavy lifting. And with community organizations like that, we need the civilian quarter to step up. And we're so proud of Pastor Griffin here for reaching out to us. We're a quiet organization, but we do an awful lot, and there is some heavy lifting. And the fact that they got in touch with us, and then I listened to his sermon, and we're on the same page. He gets it. He gets it about a community. He gets it about foundations that are trying to help. We got a lot of large federal programs that just kind of lumber along, but you've got a lot of small organizations that are doing an awful lot. And he recognizes that fact, and we really appreciate it. It's an honor to sit next to this man.
To kind of overview a little bit about what you and your organization does on a daily basis, is it more of a mission to support the Marines that come back? Walk us through that.
Yes, it is a transitional program. After they've been to war, after they've been deployed, and when they come back and they get mustered out of either Wounded Warriors East or Wounded Warriors West, then there is a time for them to try and make an adjustment. It's very difficult, and today in this country, even it's difficult for a graduate from a college or anything else to get jobs or anything like that, or to pick out a career. A lot of these Marines went in when they were 18 years old. After the towers went down, they never filled out a resume. They never did a job interview. They became Marines. They had another family, the fierce pride of a Marine. A lot of them wanted to stay in as career Marines, and that was instantly taken away from them. And then all of a sudden, what do? And that's what we help them to find: who they are, who they want to be. How do you get there?
And Pastor, these are individuals that come back across the country, and they come back to communities just like ours right here.
Absolutely. And you think about the many men and women who risked their lives so that we can enjoy the freedom that we enjoy now, like the freedom of religion, to be able to worship the way we choose to worship. And there are young men and women who are all over the world who are putting their lives on the line. And I believe that when they come back, they should be the heroes. They should be the ones that we honor, because when you sacrifice your life for something, that means you really believe in what you're doing. And so what we are doing, the fundraisers, the working behind the scenes, getting all the different events planned, that's the least we can do when we realize how much they have put their lives on the line, as well as our police department, fire department, paramedics. These guys, they put their lives on the line every day. And so this is just a little something we can do to try to support and give back, like to the Backstoppers, as well as the Focus Marines Foundation.
Now you say a little something, but I know how hard you and your organization has worked putting this event. We've been working, together for many months. The city of Blackjack is going to have their Harvest Moon Festival that same evening. It's going to be on Saturday, September 20th. It's going to be from 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. with fireworks at the end. You can go to the website, our city website, to find out more information about that. Your event is going to be in the morning leading up to that, starting at 7 a.m. Let's kind of walk through some of the really cool things. And it all starts with a big run walk that I know our mayor is very excited about.
Yeah, I heard that you all call it, what is it, the marathon?
Mayorathon.
Mayorathon. Okay.
Run with the mayor, run or walk. I have to make sure and say that. Run or walk with the mayor.
Yeah, this is really interesting because we have now put a walking trail on our property. And in the past, we would walk over in the park, Blackjack Park, Harold J. Evangelistic Park. And so what we are doing now, we're going to start with our walking trail. And I think it's about 5K, give or take. And so we're going to use the park as well as our property. And it's going to be real nice. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there. I know we're going to have a lot of fun. Believe we're going to have good weather. So it's going to really kick off. We want everybody to come and register. Of course, we don't like to give a suggested amount, but if they can come or maybe get someone to sponsor them and they come and run a walk with the mayor. And I think that'll be great. So it's going to kick off really at 7 a.m. Now that's going to be Saturday. Of course, we have some things going on at Friday for our, it's going to be called God's Gift of Gospel. So we're going to have music that evening. It's going to start at 7 p.m. And then the registration for the run walk is going to be at 8 a.m. And then 9 o'clock, we're going to get everybody out. Hopefully we have a real good turnout. That'll be nice. And then later on at 10 o'clock, as always, the mayor comes and he kicks everything off for us. We have the national anthem sung. We have the colors being raised by
Now, is the
Black
mayor
Jack Fire
singing the
Department.
national anthem? I didn't hear about this.
He's going to kick it off for us, but I don't think he's going to sing the national anthem. However, if he chooses to do that, I mean, let me know. We're sure welcoming. But we're gonna we have vendors, we have games, all that's going to be kicked off. Once he kicks it off, we're going to get everything started. Food, games for the children. We have things for everybody, and at different intervals of the day, we'll have different activities going on.
And the nice thing about everything that goes on throughout the day as the money's being raised, it always goes back to these two foundations.
Everything goes to these foundations. We never make a dime on it. We never. We may go in the hole, and sometimes as far as us as a ministry, but we always make sure we give something. We give at least the minimum, and I don't want to name a figure, but I do want you to know that we never make a dime on it. It's everything we raise, we give towards these foundation organizations.
And as we start to wrap this segment up, will you have some of your organization out at the event to be able to mingle with the individuals and give them more information about what your organization does?
Absolutely. We'll have an informational table. We'll have our colors up, the American flag, United States Marine flag. And we couldn't pick a better site. He's got an absolutely gorgeous church with beautiful, beautiful grounds around it and everything else. So if anybody really wants to see something that's really spectacular, it's his facilities out there. And we'll have our representatives out there. We will have informational stuff on the table for them, and we'll answer any of their questions. And that's the importance of this. He spoke about money. The importance of this is to educate people to what these foundations are doing to help our brave warriors that are coming back and find that they have difficulties.
As we start to wrap things up, Pastor Griffin, where can someone go to find out more information about the event itself?
Well, we have a website. It's christianembassichurch.com, and there's also a link on there that has 2014 Harvest Fest. And all the information, site map, everything, all the things that's going to take place throughout the day, all the information they need, they can find it there. Or they can call us at area code 314-741-4463.
Now, I know a couple of years ago, the mayor mentioned something about he was going to walk backwards on the track, and it got misinterpreted.
Yeah, that was the fire chief.
It was a backwards walk?
That was the fire chief. That was Black Jack Fire Chief. Yeah, he was saying he's going to walk it in reverse or walk it the opposite way. And when he said walk it backwards, we were assuming that he was going to walk backwards. So when we put this out here on this show, Randy, you set us up, and so we walked backwards, and I want you to know I was sore for 3 days after this.
And so for everybody out there watching tonight, this is a forward walk,
This
right?
is a forward walk run.
run.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We have a good time.
And I've had some people ask me about this, that it's not, yes, it's 5K.
Yeah.
But if you want to come out and just walk a half a lap and turn around and come back, that's fine. It's not a marathon, it's not a run, it's not a race.
Absolutely.
It's just come out and enjoy the experience.
Absolutely. Like some people, I won't call names. They ride their bike every year, but they say they participate, but they ride their bikes. But I won't call any names.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Pastor Griffin, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you. I
your
appreciate
time.
you, Randy. Thank you.
No problem. Tom, you're going to stay with us. We're going to talk much more about what the foundation does after we come back from commercial. Stay with us. We've got much more next here on News 20 on GTN. Stay with us.
After a car accident, Linda Davis needed CPR. Bill Hamilton needed temporary shelter when a fire destroyed his home. During an operation, Haley Reynolds needed a blood transfusion.
Excuse me, may I go into that room, please? Thank you for giving me blood.
Thank you for giving me shelter.
Thank you for saving my life.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
And welcome back to News 20 here on GTN. I'm Randy Gardner. As we mentioned before, a great show for you tonight. Very informational and educational. Joining me to my right, we have Tom Elgus, again back with us, the Focus Marines Foundation. And to your right, we have Ted Kretzmar, who's the VP of Development with the organization. Thank you for joining us here on the show. We appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
To kind of give a wrap-up of what we talked about in that first segment, Pastor Griffin was on talking about the big event on Saturday, September 20th. It's called the Harvest Fest, and that's going to start early in the morning, go till about 3 or 4 o'clock, and then the City of Blackjack is going to have their festival starting at 5 o'clock, which goes till 9 o'clock with fireworks at the end of that display. You can go to cityofblackjack.com to find out more information about that. But we talked with Pastor about him raising through his organization money for the Focus Marines Foundation along with the Backstoppers. And we talked in that first segment also about how important groups coming together to raise money for an organization like yours, even if it's just a little bit of money, it makes a difference. It brings awareness. And Tom, you talked a little bit about that. How important is that?
Well, it's very important because, like I said, we can't do this alone. We have a lot of Marines who were Vietnam vets who came and didn't have any support at all. Everybody's heard about the VA, and we don't judge any organization. We just saw that there was a void there. And being from that era, the nation has made a great shift. They don't blame the warrior anymore for wars or anything like that, which they shouldn't. But when they come back, there are issues that they have, and we understood what we feel that we understood what needed to be done. So we tried to fill that gap, that void, with our program. And I was a skeptic at first, but it's an extremely strong program. We've had almost 350 Marines, Navy Corpsmen, and Army come through our program, and it's been very successful. I think it's an awesome program.
One thing Pastor Griffin wanted to make sure that we emphasized here in this second segment was that the event is, the money's going to be given to the Focus Marines Foundation and Backstoppers, but you serve many different branches of the military, and all branches are welcome at the event itself. They want to get as many out there. And you touched on a little bit before in the commercial break about that it's just not Marines. There's other branches that are involved with you.
Right. We go to all the veterans outreach programs at the community colleges and everything else. And we feel that if somebody takes a look at this program, other services or anything else, if they would want to get involved with our service people in something like this, we'd be certainly happy to talk to them about it. But specifically because of resources, funds, volunteer group, site, and things like that, and the ethos of the Marine, that Marines don't leave other Marines on the battlefield, that's where we started. We can only take so many people. That's our priority at the time. And we just love other services to jump in and have support systems and follow their wounded out like the Marine Corps does now.
Now, Ted, you're the Vice President of Development. You're kind of on the front lines with talking to individuals about what your organization does, why they should get involved. There are a lot of organizations out there. What separates you from some of those?
Number one, all of our organization is Marines, former Marines, and Navy personnel, and we're working with Marines primarily. You talked about that just a moment ago. We also have Navy Corpsmen who serve with Marines who were wounded while they were with Marine units. What separates us from other organizations? Well, just to use some of our Marines that have gone through our course, they talk about the VA. And we've had Marines tell us in the 8 days they spend with us at our camp, they have gained more from us in their recovery than they had received from the VA in years. So I think we're working directly with them. We understand them. They know us because we're Marines also. So I think that's what separates us.
As you talk about this camp that they go through, what are some of the things that you teach and that they learned?
The first part of the week is spent on working on their mental state, how they feel about themselves. And so many of them come to us, they're feeling down about themselves. Most of them, they plan to spend their career in the Marine Corps. They were injured and had to get out. So they're very down about that. They come home, they are a different person coming home than went off to war. Their family, their loved ones, their friends expect the same person to come back, and they are definitely a different person because of the horrific warfare they've been through. As far as their state of mind, many feel like they're a victim. Many are stuck in their position in life. They retreat to their apartments. They isolate themselves from their friends, their family. They become very down about their life. Many will have come back and tried to get a job and have been unsuccessful in doing that. And they give up trying to find a job. So they end up in their apartment, taking the drugs the VA has prescribed, adding alcohol to that, and their lives go into a tailspin. And unfortunately, a national statistic, which is a tragedy, is there's some 22 to 23 veterans take their life each day. We've lost more veterans to suicide than we have to combat. A sad commentary on where we stand. And so what we're trying to do is turn their lives around, give them goals that they can look forward to when they go home, give them the tools to go home and help them find a job or help them get back in school, finish their education. That's the sort of thing we do.
What's some of the feedback that you hear maybe before someone enters the course? Are people skeptical because other things haven't worked?
Oh, yeah.
And then what's it like after they're done with the course?
That's probably the best question you've asked, because I'm the first one to see them when they come into the airport, because we fly them in from anywhere all over the United States, our time, our dime. That's why we need the donations. But I mean, they come in with attitudes that I always try to guess. When I got 34 Marines coming in, which one's this program's gonna appeal to more and everything else. I'm always wrong. But they don't trust. They don't trust doctors. They don't trust some people that are supposed to be professional that they haven't been successful with. And because of their issues, because of PTS, traumatic brain injury, survivor's guilt, they have a difficulty time in trying to transition into this life. And it's funny because I will watch them in the first day, and some will be slumped in their seats, and they'll be shaking their heads. They'll be maybe even mouthing an expletive or something like that. And the second day, they're a little bit quieter. And the third day, they're standing up. They've come back to where they wanted to be. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their complexion. It has amazed me what I have seen in that room. It's an honor to be in that room. That room is filled with pride and emotion and everything else. And they start to get momentum. And then they pretty much take over from there. They put themselves into the class. They put themselves into what is they are being taught. And they just get up and start going. And that's a large percentage of the class. It's always, well, if we can save one Marine, then we've done our job. No, I didn't believe that. I didn't want to believe that. And when I see the number of these young men and women that change in that room in that short of a time, it's awesome. It is really awesome.
What would you say to the average individual out there who, sees this from afar? You see it on television, you hear the stories, but you guys work with this one-on-one. What's the difference between, I guess, the media perception that is portrayed out there and the realization of what these men and women are experiencing when they come back?
We're hearing more and more on the news about post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury, the invisible wounds. So it's good that the public is being made aware of that, but I don't think people realize, the physical wounds, if somebody's lost an arm or a leg, you see that, readily identifiable. But the mental wounds, the invisible wounds, you don't know. Those are the silent ones that they carry with them. And those are the ones that we really primarily work to heal.
When these individuals, as you talked about, the silent ones, those are the ones I think the average individual don't understand. That these men and women have been in it somewhere else for a long period of time, experienced things that we only see in movies, but to them it's real. And now they transition back into a life where it's so out of norm of what they have experienced.
Right. And it's not the movies. It's simple as that. That's the first thing that you gain. And we label things like PTS, post-traumatic stress and things like that, but we have found out as an organization that's kind of an umbrella coverage over what's underneath that and everything else. There has now been introduced moral injury. When our American warrior goes to a different country and fights in that country, they see a different morality, especially in these wars, OEF and OIF, that are being fought now in Afghanistan and Iraq. And that's upsetting to them, the loss of life, of children, of women, of their best buddies, their rude, crude Marine that has fought for them and watched their back and everything else. And they come back with such a deep loss, and the moral content has been changed to some degree. And we need to know that, and we need to welcome them back.
Gentlemen, we're going to do a full half-hour show with a video that's going to be put into the middle of it, and you'll be able to see that also here on News 20 on GTN. But as we wrap this segment up about the event on September 20th, what would you like to leave everybody with? We've got about a minute left here. First, let's talk about the website. Where can someone find out more information?
On our website, www.focusmarinefoundation.org. Tells the whole story. We also, at the harvest, we will have all of our literature there, brochures. We have a quarterly newsletter we send out, and we'll have our cards. Anybody can contact us. We'd be happy to talk to them, answer any questions they might have. Our main goal is to be able to identify and find out through the public where the Marines are, the servicemen that are having difficulty with their transition. We need to locate them, identify them, and get them to our class.
Sounds good. Gentlemen, Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Once again, that event is going to be on Saturday, September 20th. You can go to the website to find out more information. We appreciate your time as always. And make sure and check out our show that we will be doing with the Focus Marines Foundation, a full 30-minute in-depth look at what they do for the community. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on News 20 on GTN. Have a good evening.
After a car accident, Linda Davis needed CPR. Bill Hamilton needed temporary shelter when a fire destroyed his home. During an operation, Haley Reynolds needed a blood transfusion.
Excuse me, may I go into that room, please?
Next year, revenue growth again will be a focus. Top priority.
Thank you for giving me blood.
Thank you for giving me shelter.
Thank you for saving my life.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Every one of us knows someone who has been affected by cancer. More than 1.5 million Americans will be diagnosed with cancer this year alone. Each one of them faces new challenges and decisions. I'm Patrick Dempsey, and I know firsthand how dealing with cancer can impact someone's life. My mother is a 2-time ovarian cancer survivor. Our entire family rallied together to support her. One person alone does not beat cancer. That is why I support Breakaway from Cancer, an initiative created to raise awareness about free services and programs for people affected by cancer. Breakaway from Cancer supports the services of two nonprofit organizations, the Wellness Community and the National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship, making support, education, and hope available to everyone. These organizations promote quality care and help those touched by cancer take an active role in their recovery and get them the tools they need to live well with and beyond the disease. Don't go through this alone. Visit breakawayfromcancer.com and connect to a variety of free services and programs.